are back with this brand new episode, and today I've got someone that I've always wanted to bring on the show, and I'm so glad he's actually free today. So guys, meet Peter, or also known as the creator, founder of Mr. Money TV.
Hello, hi everyone. Thank you very much, Maggie, for bringing me on the show.
Thank you for coming. You know the backstory, how we met. Actually, I forgot. I was just talking about it before we went on air. I think I remember how we met. Joseph mentioned that he's got a friend who has this channel called Mr. Money TV. I would like to bring us on your YouTube at one time.
Yeah.
But it was during the lockdown. I think it was like 2020, right?
Yes.
And I don't know, something happened, then tak jadi.
Yes.
Then we didn't get to. Then fast forward to Clubhouse era, where we had Clubhouse.
Oh yeah, Clubhouse.
Remember?
Clubhouse
and then
time.
you know how on Clubhouse you kind of like jump in and out of rooms, and then I somehow stumbled upon Peter's room, and they were talking about finances, and I was invited on stage. I was being put on the spot, and then that's how we kind of had a further conversation.
Yeah.
But today is our first time meeting.
Yeah.
How are you?
I'm doing good. But just to remind you, actually, I met you earlier.
Huh?
There was a particular incident that you forgot.
Maybe tell me, remind me, refresh me. Yes.
So, because I go to jiu-jitsu.
Oh, yes, jiu-jitsu.
So during the grading, Joseph, you and Joseph came together. And I still remember that time Mr. Money TV was a very, very early stage.
Oh.
And then when Joseph was taking a picture, he got you to take the picture, and then he was like, "That's my girlfriend Maggie. She has 20,000 followers."
Wait, Joseph said that?
I was like, "Oh wow, that's an influencer right there."
Well, okay, I think I remember this. But maybe because you look different, because when you wear gi and all that, you didn't wear a cap, right?
I don't even wear my specs.
Maybe I did. Okay, now I remember. I feel like there's not many grading I went for, so I think I
it was in
Kaboko. Yeah. I still remember that one. Okay. My gosh, sorry I didn't recognize, but
it's okay, man. I look just like anyone in the gi.
No, don't say that.
So it's okay.
But yeah, honestly, usually during gi time, I mean like grading time, everybody's in gi. I sometimes really cannot recognize. But I was the only odd one out loud. I was just there as a spectator. But yeah, I mean, it's been a long... Do you still practice jiu-jitsu?
1 week once. So I only get like Adam to come over to my place.
Right.
Yeah. And then because with the kids and everything, and I always work late. So the thing is that jiu-jitsu classes are at night.
Yeah.
So by the time we finish about 11, 12 o'clock.
Okay.
Yeah. But recently I'm trying to get my wife's approval to go once a week at night.
Actually, I
instead
remember
of
those
just
days.
private trainings.
Yeah, like sometimes Joseph want to go jiu-jitsu, I'll be like, I thought this is our date night. So he will negotiate the days with me. But anyway, maybe tell us a little bit of a background story. Like you said, when we first met in that jiu-jitsu day, you just started your channel. Yeah. So how did it come about? Like what inspired you? And have you always been the finance guy? You know, like talking about finance, always been so well versed? Or how did it come about? Tell me.
Right. So when I graduated, after about 6 months, I went to the insurance industry. So I have been in the insurance industry and the financial industry selling you unit trust and insurance for the past 10 years or more. Yeah. Then, so I did pretty well. Became unit manager and stuff like that. But in 2017, something just hit me. I was a little bit like, I think I'm not that happy, because along the day as I was meeting people, I realized that there are a lot of people that I can help them, but they can't afford to pay me. Yeah. Understand. So it's like, I would love to tell them more and talk to them, educate them more, but they can't keep buying products from me, right?
Correct.
Yeah. So, and on the other hand, if I were to charge them an advisory fee, being an independent advisor, there's also another problem, which is those who can afford to pay me don't quite need me to a certain extent. Yeah, because they have private banks and stuff like that. Because you're talking about a fee of like 3,000, 5,000 ringgit a year. Now, then for normal people who can save up about 50,000 or 60,000, charging them 3,000 to 5,000 is quite a lot of money.
Yes.
And it's not an amount that they can afford in the ratio of the amount that they can invest. So now I have a problem. People who need me can't pay me.
Correct.
People who don't need me.
Yes.
So it's like, So at that moment, I was thinking to myself, like, I think the only way to solve this is through technology.
That's true.
And during that time, you start to hear things like stash away, but they haven't come yet. It was just like you
haven't
start
arrived.
hearing about it. Then you start hearing all these kind of like fintech things starting to come about, right? And then I was thinking, hey, can I build my own product? And I looked at my own skill set. I was like, no, I know nothing about computers.
But at least you were honest. I think that's good. Acknowledge first, right?
Yeah, and I thought to myself, I think the only thing I know how to do is talk.
Yeah.
And since probably the easiest tech that I can do is just record myself, put it on YouTube, see if anyone is willing to even watch it first. Yeah, and it was during those times that, and I recall the time I thought about it as well. If there's influencer for food, there's influencer for fitness.
Yes.
Why is there no one who is able to generate a proper revenue model and being like an influencer like that for the finance space?
Finance, yes.
Yeah. So I thought, well, it matches.
Yeah.
Since my skill set is talking, I don't know how to code. I can't do a product. So I know how to edit some videos per se, or at least press the record button. Then that suits me.
Okay.
So I decided to just record it, put it up, and in about 6 months to 10 months time, I decided that, that's what makes me happy. And I just went on and full time into it after that.
It's been so many years then. Since 2017, was that the inception year, would you say?
That was when the idea was planted in my mind.
So maybe around 2018.
But only by 2018 year end, I started taking action. Because before that, in 2017 to 18, I decided to go into independent financial planning.
Yeah.
So I actually forked out some money, set up a firm with some friends, but it didn't work out. So only at the end of that, then I thought, well, I can't afford to throw another 50 or 20 or 50,000 or 100,000 anymore. So now video seems cheap.
I mean, YouTube is free. It's so accessible. It really is the way to go, right? I mean, we are on YouTube too, by the way, guys. Go check us out. We don't have Mr. Moni's subscribers, but really, I mean, you've done so well for yourself. I mean, from like you said, knowing nothing about much about the technology bit, now you've got like 100,000 subscribers on YouTube. That's a great feat. So I just want to say congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah,
great job.
Still got much place to improve.
I binge watch your videos a lot.
Really?
Yeah, I think because recently I was in the process of buying my own home. I think I also had a chat with you about it. So I started looking, and then you had videos about the difference between renting and buying, what really goes into every department of that. And I feel like you break it down so well, and you really are able to make regular people like me who have zero knowledge when it comes to finance to understand. And I think that's the reason of your success of your channel, to make it understand, because it can be very intimidating when it comes to anything finances. Like for me, it freaks me out, but like the way you broke it down is in such a way where it's understandable and like, okay, it's not all that scary. Oh, this is how it works. So yeah, I love it. Really, really, really.
Thank you.
And if you guys have never seen his stuff, or this is your first time hearing about Mr. Money, I think definitely go give him a subscribe. It will change your life. Okay. Yeah. Okay, of course, the reason why I kidnapped you here is because we have a ton of questions about finances. And of course, it's also tax season. Is it tax season yet? It is, right?
Yep.
Currently, when's the last day to pay? May?
April for
personal.
for people who are under employment. And then later will be the season for people who owns their own business.
That's me.
Freelancers.
So I am scrambling through my receipts. Okay, let's just dive into it right now. Okay, guys. Since it's tax season, we do have some questions about tax. Okay, I know you've said this many times before, but I'm going to make you repeat that on our channel. Okay, what are the different types of taxes that we should be aware of? Income tax is the main tax, right?
When you talk about tax, there's actually the main tax that concerns us.
Concerns us, regular
that we have to do something about
it.
It's either corporate tax or either personal tax, right?
Corporate tax, okay.
Yeah, so corporate tax is like you. If you own a business, right? You own a Sandria Berhad, that's corporate tax, right? And then there's the other one where you don't own a business, but you're working for people, then you actually pay personal tax. So that's that Form B and BE.
Yes.
Right? Yeah. So, however, some of you may be working for people, but at the same time owning another business.
Yes.
Then you need to file the business one.
Oh, so no personal tax.
Yes, because personal is just part of that overall thing. Yeah, so like for my case, I'm both an employee of my own company.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm also the director. I also own another insurance business where it still pays me until today.
Yeah.
So I actually filed the business tax.
Right.
Yeah, and so I aggregate all my income and I need to do different sets of accounts for different revenue streams.
Do you do it yourself?
So I don't.
Me
I
too.
actually just pay my accountant to do it.
Yes.
Because it's so complicated now.
Actually, corporate tax are not simple.
Yes.
Personal one already, I got it messed up. I got penalized for
I
it.
can do before. So.
Yeah. The first year I paid my tax because I didn't know I was supposed to pay tax. And then suddenly, I think I got a letter that I have to from LHDN, obviously. And then I was like, oh, snap. Okay. The minimum annual income is how much to be eligible to pay tax again?
35,000. Yeah.
So you divide by 12 per
I
month.
think it's 35,000.
My math is so bad, guys. Really is so
correctly.
bad. Divided by 12 per month is around 3? 2?
Yes. When you earn about 3K plus. Okay. So here's where it comes, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't mean your gross revenue. It has to be taxable income.
Oh.
So even if you're earning about 4K, after you reduce all the tax relief, if your taxable income is not above the threshold, you don't have to pay tax.
Right.
Yeah. So you need your taxable income to be above a threshold.
Right. Like the taxable, meaning there are a lot of deductions. And that's why the receipt comes in.
Yes.
Right?
So if let's say you are an employee, there are much lesser things that you can deduct.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like when you're an employee, end of the day, you can deduct the 9,000 relief, spouse, and then children, and then all the sports equipment, whatever the government has been telling us.
Yes.
Right, so you can only deduct those. Once you deduct those, if your taxable income is lesser than the threshold, then you don't have to pay. And the threshold, if I recall correctly, is 35,000, but do your own verification, but it's in the 30s range.
Yes.
Yeah, and if it exceeds that, then you need to pay.
Right.
And then it goes by tiering, right?
Correct.
But the benefit of business owners is, there's a lot more things you can...
Yes, correct. You can, some of the examples are like maybe you buy furnitures. It's for the office. You can deduct your furnitures. But if it's a personal tax, you cannot. So those are the things I learned.
That's right. Like
in some
company
ways,
dinner.
Yeah. Company dinner, stuff like that. I know. All you business owners, wink, wink. Okay, this question, I'm not sure. Maybe you can answer. What type of tax does Malaysia have specifically? Is that flat, progressive, regressive? I don't even know what that means.
Our tax doesn't really go like that. So generally, for us, we have the different type of tax, like direct ones where we pay through our income.
Yes.
Yeah, and then after that, there's the indirect one where it is like SST, GST, this kind of stuff. This kind of tax, if I'm not wrong, but a progressive one is basically at the moment your income goes up, you just get charged more.
Right.
So, but I can't be entirely accurate about the definition of progressive tax.
For sure.
But we don't really use those words here, right? Yeah. But the point is, in Malaysia, yes, the more you earn, the more you get taxed. And the highest bracket of tax that you're looking at is actually 30%.
That's really a lot.
Yeah.
Okay.
And if you're a foreigner living here,
even more.
It's a flat rate of 30. It doesn't matter how much you earn.
Okay.
Yeah.
So is there a threshold for them then? Or?
No, just flat.
Oh, wow. So no matter, as long as they're earning Malaysian ringgit, they have to pay tax.
Yes. As long as you are living here for 182 days.
Yeah.
Yeah, as a resident here, you have to pay tax. That's just generally how it is.
Okay.
And this includes like pension, dividend, those kind of stuff. Whatever that's considered as an income, you have to pay tax.
Got it.
Yeah.
And I know this may sound like a very dumb question, but it's in the list and we would like to know, where do our taxes go? Obviously, we have a lot of young audience here, so maybe we are here to educate all of us, okay? Don't worry. There's no stupid question.
I also used to wonder that question.
Yeah, where do we go? Then pay for what? Actually, why they take money for free?
Until today, I still wonder. But I know the textbook answer.
Okay, textbook. Okay, give us textbook answer first.
and no, it's not textbook, it's true. It goes into the federal revenue.
Yeah.
So a country, think of a country like a company, right?
Yeah.
They also need to make money.
For sure.
And how they make money is through income tax. And basically about 70% of the country's revenue is made up of income tax.
Yep.
The largest contributor is actually corporate income tax. Then the next is individual.
Yep.
Yeah. So so generally your money goes into the federal government, and federal government will make a budget. You know that year end that
budget
you hear.
2021, 2022.
Yeah. So basically that is where your money is going to lah.
Yeah, those are all funded by the Rakyat Malaysia.
That's right. Yeah. So there's this thing the other day when Singaporeans were pumping petrol, right?
Yes.
Yeah, they were pumping the yellow
They cannot
one.
do 95, right? Apparently.
So actually they are taking your tax money lah. Because your tax money is part of the thing that's subsidizing the the petrol, right? So
Yes.
Singaporeans are doing our tax money.
We don't simply do this or cannot anyhow. Okay. All right. So I hope that answers your question as to where our taxes go. Very basic knowledge and just a surface level of where it really goes. Okay.
Yes.
So basically everything you see, the roads and all, is some funded by us.
That's right. Yeah.
Right?
That's why when I was younger, I would always wonder why people care so much about politics, right?
Me too.
Yeah, I was like, what is it going to do you? I'm happy living my own world.
Yes.
Then when I start paying tax, and then I start realizing that's my money.
It's very true. The moment I started paying tax, I'm like, that's what am I paying for? And then in the end, all this infrastructure still so not very well done. And now I get angry. Now I get into politics. At least I want to try to understand more. Last time I don't give a crap about it.
That's right.
So, okay. So young friends, I cannot call myself young anymore. Okay, quite young. Young friends, now you know, go pay your tax and make sure you vote. It's very important. And how often do we do our taxes?
Once.
But then, right, I don't know if you did receive this, CP 500.
Oh, okay.
Tell me about that.
Yes.
Because I have a story, yes.
Oh, yeah. I also kena that story before, I think. Yeah, probably.
Okay, so those of you who don't know what CP 500 is.
For those of you who receive a CP 500, it's likely because you own a business.
Yes.
Yeah, so you have already filed tax the year before that. And what happens is that LHDN will, based on your last year's tax filing, they will want you to pay in advance.
Yes.
Yeah, so they want you to pay in advance. So basically, you are paying for this year's tax when you're only supposed to file for this year's tax next year.
Correct.
But now you're paying it in advance.
Yes.
So now, the problem very often is, what if this year's business I'm not doing very well?
Yeah.
Sorry, you still got to pay, but you can actually make amendments. Okay, so I may have skipped the question a little bit.
Yeah.
But for those of you who are running a business, that's why it's very important that you get an accountant, a tax agent, someone who's really familiar with it, right? I used to think that it's going to cost a lot of money. Actually, no lah. Sometimes even if you make friends, they are willing to give you advice for free lah, right?
Yeah.
So you can actually make some amendments and then justify why you need to pay for a lower one. So I understand during the MCO period, a lot of people actually suffered, right? So yeah, if you're one of them, please go and make your amendments, make your adjustment. If not, you are gonna kena penalty.
I think I kena already. So that's what I want to say. I didn't know. I recently, my tax accountant, he was like, why you have an extra couple of hundred here? Thank God it's not an exorbitant amount, but still money, Yeah. And I'm like, what? For what? Oh, apparently it's from the CP 500 in 2019. I'm like, walao, super delayed penalty, right? Because I thought I was cleared. So, truth of the matter is, in 2020, obviously, like you said, didn't do so well. I had like months of no income, so I didn't actually pay. So I think I might get penalized next year for that. So PSA for those of you who have CP 500, pay on time. If not, just do the amendment. I will do that soon.
Yeah.
Do you do it or you really do pay every?
I mean, when I first started Mr. Money, things were really tough.
Yeah.
Then there were moments that I actually just delayed that, right? And those are the moments that you kena penalty lah. That 10%, and it's quite it's 10%.
Serious?
10%, straight away direct 10%.
Jalat.
And this not including if you file tax wrongly, that kind of thing. Yeah, and then you declare your income.
Is it legal that they ask for money in advance that I don't even have yet? I'm so angry thinking about it.
So employees, on the other hand, are also paying in advance under PCB. So if you actually check a pay slip, there's this thing called PCB. Yeah, so that's you paying in advance. The only thing is that you have no choice now. The HR straight away did up for you already lah.
Then all you guys.
Yeah. So that's why when an employee file tax, they don't really feel the pinch. The reason being is because they already pay in advance, and by year end when they file it, they only file a return. Then some of them even feel happy
because you get the
money back.
Bucky.
But actually the truth is you have been paying. It's not that you're not paying, right? You have been paying.
Okay.
Yeah.
And is there such a thing called the best way to pay tax, like a monthly? Some people do it monthly, quarterly, bi-monthly, or yearly. But generally, people do yearly, like me. I do yearly as well.
Yeah. For us, I mean, the CP 500 makes us pay every 2 months to 3 months once. Yeah. But after that, generally by year end, we actually file it one shot, right? For employees wise, is every month deducted. Then by the time to file tax about March period, then you just file one shot, you get back lah.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think the best way is to just do it yearly.
Yes, it is only yearly actually.
Oh,
yeah, because I mean, if you were to pay your CP 500 1 year once, then you're gonna kena penalty. It's not supposed to be like that.
Aiyo.
Yeah, so you're still supposed to pay 2 to 3 months following the schedule lah.
I see.
Yeah,
okay. I need to follow my schedule now.
Yeah. Because the moment you don't follow the schedule, immediately you get a 10% off that amount that you didn't follow.
Oh my god, you're scaring me already. I'm gonna get off this seat right now and go and pay my CP. Can we pause? I'm just kidding. Oh man, it's April, means I have to pay. Oh my god, 2 months I skip liao, jialat. Can you feel my
wait,
fear?
Later when you kena SST.
Yeah.
So because you're Sendirian Berhad ma.
Actually, I'm not.
You're not Sendirian Berhad. Okay.
Yeah,
So once you're Sendirian Berhad,
yeah.
and
my heart beating so fast, yo.
you hit above 500,000 revenue, then you need to start charging SST.
Yes, correct.
So SST will be, you better make sure you have an accountant lah.
That one different story.
Doing accounts rather than running business lah.
Yeah. But I think majority of you guys who are listening, maybe not a business owner yet, but all these things are good to know, to take note at the back of your head. Because obviously, I hope that one day you have a business and be successful, and all these other things you need to figure out.
That's
because it's just parts and parcel of being an adult and owning a business. Oh my goodness. And I think the next question is, I file my tax. I don't file my CP 500. It's a difference. So what happens if you don't file your taxes? I know friends who have evaded. I'm not saying friends. People I know that evaded for years, and then in the end kena kaulat. Chalat.
Oh yeah.
So bad.
Okay, so first, all right.
Yes.
Tax is probably the most scary. LHDN is probably the most scary body that you need to take note of. Okay.
I'm shaking.
Yeah, because they have the right to freeze all your accounts. Yeah. So you know, Joseph the other day did this reel, right, about tax. Yeah.
The Tan Tiu use the rotan one.
And then there's one more. He say like, oh, you sudah mati sir, tapi ada tax. You know, the one. It's not a joke. It's real.
Huh? Wait. If I die and I don't pay tax, they still ask for my money.
My father died very long time ago, right?
Okay.
He passed away when I was 14. I think when I was 20 plus, suddenly my mother received a letter saying need to pay tax.
From?
My father owed tax. I can't remember. It was like a very small amount. But you see, the point is, even when someone dies,
so it's true.
It's not kidding.
I thought it's a joke. It's true.
So when Joseph did that, when my team was laughing, I said, it's true.
Yeah.
It's funny to me because it's really
and you experienced it.
Yeah, that's right.
Holy smokes. Okay.
Die also cannot evade tax. I don't blame me.
I have so much I want to say, but it's a public platform. I'm not going to do it. Wow.
So yes. Pay the tax, okay? Yeah.
So I know they can kind of stop you from leaving the country as well.
Yes.
That's usually how they catch you,
They
right?
even have the right to freeze your accounts in overseas. Now, and with the current way that the current policies actually also allow them to actually retrieve your bank account information directly from banks. Yeah, so be very careful. I mean, as a Malaysian, good, pay your tax. You know, it's part of your responsibility. Okay,
Yes.
Yeah, learn to pay your tax.
As
smart.
much as you hate it,
Okay?
you do it.
Yeah,
You got to do it.
So, now, on the other hand, on the lighter side, you get fined, right? Up to 10 or 20,000 depending on the kind of mistakes you make. Now, so let's say you under-declare your income.
Yeah.
Okay?
Under-declare, yeah.
Let's say you under-declare your income. So say you're earning 500,000 and then you go and say that I only earn 250,000. So you might have everything taxable income all wrong, right? So now, what happened is that first you get a fine. If let's say you're caught, first you get a fine. The fine is ranging between up to 20,000. Yeah, I can't remember. It's 300 up to 20,000 or 10,000. One of those numbers. Now, then your balance amount will be 200%. So let's say you're supposed to pay 100,000, 50K in tax, right? It's gonna times 200%.
How much is that? Wait, what?
Yeah.
How much is that?
100,000. Yeah. So you just double it. Yeah. So now, don't take my word exactly for it because I'm not a tax agent or accountant, right? So there are likely some very detailed in terms of number that I got it wrong. Like maybe is it 10 or 20,
sure.
right? So verify yourself. But I can tell you that it's not a joke.
They're not kind.
Oh yeah, they're not kind.
They're so mean.
Yeah. So here is where, if you're in this kind of problem, you need to make sure you have a good tax accountant who can fight the case for you.
Oh.
Yes, because it's justified. Yeah, you have to. You have to go and you have to go to a good tax accountant, a good tax agent will actually help you to fight for the case and help you to reduce it.
Yes.
That's why 2-3 years back when they were chasing after people on tax,
Yes.
what happened was that the moment they get the summon,
Yes.
the amount is exorbitant one.
Yes.
It is straight away like few million.
Oh
and then
my
people
God.
were like, might as well I just go bankrupt now. Rather than paying, I might as
So
well
if
just
you're
go-
bankrupt, you don't have to pay. Okay, we don't go there.
you have to pay when you got money lah. Because bankrupt means no money lah.
Yeah. Okay, correct.
So,
you can't be
there's a
bankrupt
lot of
forever.
implication. Like you can't travel overseas.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
Okay.
So yes, it is.
It's a big deal if you don't pay your tax.
Yes, it's a big deal.
So don't evade tax ever.
Yes.
Yeah.
So even if you think you have a small business right now and you're thinking to yourself, should I hire an accountant because I can save costs, right?
Yeah. Is it worth?
Please do hire an accountant.
Yeah.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, it's not worth.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe hiring an accountant will cost you like 1,500 for the filing day, right?
Yeah.
2,000 or 5,000 ringgit lah at most.
Yeah.
It's more worth it than you
Paying the penalty.
paying the penalty. Yes,
That's
yeah.
true, that's
It's
true.
really, really not worth. Yeah.
That's how I learned my lesson. That's why now I have a tax accountant. Because, guys, I can't even calculate 52 plus 43, okay? So, I'm going to be honest. And then plus all the point, how many cents? Oh my God. It's a lot. It's so overwhelming. So, yes, I had that advice. Someone told me before, just hire an accountant. That 5,000, for instance, okay, it's not 5K, but a couple of thousand or a couple of hundred, better off paying that than the penalty.
Yes.
Wow. Okay, I'm glad I have it. Wow, I'm so stressed. I'm thinking about my CP 500 now, guys. Okay, maybe some of the rookie mistakes before we move on to other parts of the conversation. Any rookie mistakes that you made when you first filed your taxes? I know it's been a while, but...
Yeah. So I attempted filing myself once when I first started running Mr. Money TV.
Okay.
No money ma.
Yeah.
So like,
Tikit jawa.
yeah. I think I actually calculated some numbers wrongly. Yeah. So one of the main thing that if let's say you're under a business, calculating wrongly is quite common because you don't know what goes into capex. You don't know what goes into. You need to really understand the accounting structure, right?
Yes.
What goes into capex? What goes into deductible? What's not? How many percentage we deduct?
Yeah.
Like because there's so many misinformation. Like your friend will tell you that when you buy this furniture, 10K, let's say a set of furniture, you are supposed to deduct 100%. But it doesn't work like that. It's actually capex. You need to deduct by batches. So what is considered capex? What is considered expenses directly? So those are all the questions. So different business has a different setting, right?
I want to pause you very quickly. What capex? Do you just say?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
So capex means capital expenses. It means things that you buy one-off.
Yes.
So the one-off investment in your business is considered capital investment. Like, for example, buying this mic.
Yes.
The cameras. All these are capex because you only spend it once.
One time.
Yeah,
but it's
you
not
can-
fully deducted all at one go.
No. Yeah. So it will be slowly deducted according to the lifespan of the equipment.
Right.
Yeah.
If it's 3 years, then over the 3 years.
Yes. Yeah. So for example, car.
Yes. Company car.
Company cars, capex. That's why rich people like to buy big cars.
Because they can capex it.
Yes, and then there's tax advantage.
Right.
Yeah. So, but when it comes to monthly recurring expenses, those are considered expenses.
Right.
Yes, so those will be deducted fully. But depending on your business as well.
Nature, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But for employees, so that's for employer lah, right?
Yeah,
employer
employer.
tend to make this kind of mistake, right? But for employee wise, I think very often the kind of mistake that people make is number one, they don't go and calculate their taxable income, and then they end up not paying tax. So they don't know whether are they even passing the threshold or not. That's how they get slapped. That's the most rookie mistake lah, right? Now, number 2 is certain relief is shared in between siblings.
Oh.
Yes. Like, for example, parents' medical bill.
Yeah. Yeah.
So this kind of a rookie mistake will happen sometimes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm processing. Okay. And I think one of the very common question I got, because recently I posted on my stories that I'm compiling all my receipts. And people asking, I got a lot of questions, why are you even doing that, for what? So why are receipts so important?
So receipts are actually evidence that you have spent.
Yes.
As simple as that, right?
Yeah.
So receipts allow LHDN to look at it and say, yes, you have truly spent that money and where have you spent it? Because remember this thing, your expenses is someone else's income as well.
Yeah.
So that's how they trace the whole thing, right? Now, always remember to keep, this is especially important if you're employers.
Yes.
Right? Yeah. But if you're an employee, it's the same.
Yes.
You need to keep 7 years of your receipt.
Yes.
7 years,
You can't just throw it away after you file the tax. No.
Correct. So there's this saying that every 7 years, they will come and check you once.
Jialat.
Because they know it's going to come to the end of it.
Yeah. So they will see if you have.
Keep that 7 years of receipt. One trick is this: if you think that your receipts, receipts are carbon copy, right?
Yeah, some of them disappear. What do we do?
Scan it.
Yeah, I have like hundreds of them. Or how?
That's why when your operation become bigger, you actually have an admin fella to just keep scanning stuff. Yeah. So sometimes this kind of a little bit of stuff actually becomes even more tiresome when you run a business.
It
right?
is.
Yeah, so you can actually outsource it as well. Like for us, we outsource to someone and to our accountant.
Yeah.
So we do our bookkeeping from there with a flat fee every month, and they just pakaleo the whole accounts for us.
I have a question. Bookkeeping and tax accountant, different.
Oh, okay. Different.
Oh, do you mind breaking it down?
Okay. So there's tax accountant, there's tax agent, and there's now there's a company secretariat in the process of a business, context of a business and stuff, right? Tax agent basically is a person who knows how to do the tax filing, but it's not necessarily an accountant.
Okay.
Now, bookkeeping is basically your monthly accounts, balance sheet, and profit and loss statements. Right? So you need to know where your money is going every month. Now, and when it comes to bookkeeping, there's also two styles. There's the audit style, where it's about audit. Yeah. There's the other style, it is management accounting. That bookkeeping is another set of books where as a manager, as a business owner, you want to know how your cash flow is performing.
Yeah, every month.
That one is 100% subjective. If you think this should be here, it should be here. If it should be here, it should be here. It's not up to the accountant to tell you, no, it should be here or here, because he doesn't understand your business as well as you do.
Yes.
So that's a different set of accounts.
Yeah.
Now, and when we talk about financial literacy, let's say as a business owner, it is not so much the audit side. It is more of this management accounting side. So like I may not know exactly where my tax bracket may fall to, but I need to have a rough idea.
Yeah.
I need to roughly know where my money is going.
Yeah.
So that's the bookkeeping side lah. Yeah. And tax accounting is actually at the end of the day is just a final compilation of it to say that like, okay, overall the whole year, this is how much you have spent on food, this is how much you have spent on drinks. Yeah, but usually they won't say food and drink lah. There's a billing.
Yeah,
expenses or whatnot like that.
Yes.
Then they will categorize it under the tax categories and then they will just do their work from there. So when you file if this is the first time you're filing as a freelance, because nowadays more and more freelance guys, right? You need to have a set of account. Likely it's going to be on Excel sheet. Yeah. And then when you file the tax on your BE, it is like formal.
Yeah.
But
you just fill in the blanks.
Yeah, correct. You just fill in the blanks. But if let's say you fill in that one, you don't have this to support.
Yeah, right?
When income tax can find you, then you can know. So the more detailed your Excel sheet is, the less quarrels you can have.
The more detail.
Yes.
So my one very detailed.
Because when it's very detailed, then income tax can't find you. It's either you totally file wrongly, then you can it's so detailed.
But if you can justify, this is why it is, then you're fine.
So because the main thing about them also is that they want to catch people who purposely want to evade lah. Right? I mean, if you make a genuine mistake, they are also humans. So they also understand one. So that's why you need to have your tax agent to be able to have a conversation with them.
Yeah.
Now, if you don't have a conversation with them, then it's a blanket lah.
Yeah.
So that process of to and fro, keep going there, coming back,
Yeah.
that's where you need your tax agent or accountant to do all this job.
I see. Well, that is a lot.
Yes.
And you have both bookkeeper.
So for management side,
Yeah.
we do it ourselves. Yeah. So for bookkeeping, we use the exact same accountant for our, because he actually owns all the 3 different licenses.
Usually they will have
Yeah.
that, right?
So we just pass it on to him.
Okay,
Yeah.
something for me to consider because I don't think I have a bookkeeper. I have only the final compilation person.
So the monthly bookkeeping actually helps you to project where's your business headed to.
Yeah.
And where, okay, this part I'm more efficient, so I have money to throw in back again.
Yes,
Because if not, sometimes as a business owner, you will be a bit lost, right?
For sure.
You don't know, like for example, just a question of, should you invest in a new camera?
Yeah.
Or should you expand your space?
Yeah.
Are you in that capacity? Will it give you the same ROI? So if you don't have the number and data to back it out, it will be just wild guess.
Okay, well, guys, I have no words. It's just so overwhelming, right? But if this overwhelms you, it's okay. He didn't even go deep into the conversation. It's just like the cherry on top.
Yeah.
We didn't even go deep into this. Is just a basic knowledge, tax 101. And of course, I think the main point takeaway here is don't evade tax. Pay what you should, because you're going to get into much deeper, bigger trouble down the road, and it's just not worth it.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm sure a lot of people I pay tax for what? If I can evade, I evade. No, don't even try. I know someone who got into deep trouble because of it.
Yeah.
The amount of money they have to pay in the end, just nah.
Yes.
All right. So that is a bit of a tax 101 to those of you guys. And of course, if you want to know more, just head over to Peter's channel, Mr. Money TV. But right now, we do have other questions on maybe some finance independence, right? And I mean, you're married. You got 2 kids.
Yeah.
Right? Oh, there. He was showing off his
Happily
ring
married
finger.
man.
I love it. And for generations, money matters has always been something that men typically handle. Correct me if I'm wrong. Right? Typically, especially in the Asian household. And then there is this thing called pay discrimination. There's household's responsibility. There's lack of exposure to financial tools that we women confront.
Yes.
Right? So this is such a funny question that we got from some of our followers, asking you, as a man, from a man's perspective, before you get into marriage, is it important that your other half is financially stable?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean,
The reason why I ask this is because typically, if roles were reversed, women always look for men who are financially stable, but they don't talk so much about their own financial stability. Right? It's like, okay, he's financially stable, he's good, he can take care of me, and that's it.
That's true.
True or not? I need to call ourselves out sometimes, ladies, we do think that way. But yeah, from a man's perspective, I've always been curious. Is that important?
This is a subjective question.
Yeah, for sure.
But my own perspective is this. I think that's important because it shows your character. It is not so much about whether when you look at the person and say like, this lady, is she earning a lot of money? That's not the point.
Yeah.
The point is, are you living above what
Your
you can
means.
afford? Right? Yeah. So if you're living beyond your means, that's a character problem. Yeah, it's a personality problem.
That can cause issues in relationships down the road.
And so it shows that you're not independent enough as a person.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that is a point to consider. And I think that one of the things that we have to always remember is people don't really change after getting married. And they just become more themselves.
Okay. Yep.
That's the truth.
Yeah.
So if the person is always living beyond the means, unless you're very confident that things are manageable or you're very rich, and you can, no problem, man. Sure, why not? If not, then I think it is very important to talk about it because there's this problem with men, right?
Yeah.
Men have this very, very big problem.
Which is?
When we are chasing the girl that time, we are going to give 110%.
Hey, wow.
That month, negative also never mind. Give.
San hey,
Like, no problem.
Oh, yeah.
Come, we go makan.
Let's do it.
You sure you got money to pay? No problem. Last month I got a job.
Yeah, I got it, baby.
Yeah. But actually look at bank account and cry, you know?
Yeah.
Then after that, 2 months later, get the girl. The girl living that life that you promised her. Right? Then tell her, darling, actually this week can we go in mama? Last time you bring me Marini, now you bring me mama.
Yeah.
Can't you kasihan me a bit, you know? I got no money. You see, you're also cheating, you're also lying to the girl, because that first 3 months you present yourself like you can afford all this.
Yeah, a facade that you are financially very stable.
Right.
Okay.
And after that, you complain, you say that she cannot understand you. Well, you never gave her the chance to understand you.
Yeah.
So the ideal is, that's why it's very important at the start of the relationship, be very, as a male, I don't talk so much about the female side, like you should control them or whatnot, right? It's nothing to do with us.
Yeah.
So look at yourself and ask yourself this. Am I going to be honest with my abilities? Yeah. If you can show her in full honesty, your ability is here, and give that a discount, and she's still willing to be with you, congratulations. You'll probably find the right person lah.
Yes.
Right. But if you go above,
actually you're here.
Yeah lah. It's like you go and, Chinese say sek pa wong tan. You go and makan something you cannot afford to pay,
Yeah. I think a lot of the younger generation really do spend more than they can afford. Especially with the lifestyle that now social media portrays. Everything must be hype. Nowadays shoes can go up to 2,000-3,000. I'm like, come on!
Shirt also.
Brother!
Wow, recently I learned some new brands.
Me too.
What Angel lah, and then what then Fear of God lah. I was like, my God, it got so expensive punya shirt one. I never knew. I only thought LV so expensive.
Yes, correct. No, nowadays street brands just as expensive. Really, really. Then they can bid for the shoe. Then there's the retail price and then the resale price. The same shoe, original price 900. They resell for what? 5,000-6,000.
I was like, my God, can like that one, no?
So, that's why I'm saying kids. Guys, you terasa means lah. I'm just saying, there's just so much more reasons for them to spend, really. Yeah, last time when I was much younger.
Man, like you get Adidas very happy.
Oh, yes, correct.
Branded
Adidas, Nike, damn expensive already.
Now Adidas, Nike is like, unless the limited edition one, it's like normal shoe.
Yeah,
normal
affordable.
Like, but I need back my mother buy me one.
Yeah, I love my Adidas. And that was a luxury for me.
Yeah.
But it's a different story now.
Yeah.
If you don't have a Supreme, you don't have I don't know what brand nowadays. You're not cool.
Right? Yeah.
So then going on dates, also you gotta look cool, therefore have all these items on you. But point is really, I think what you're trying to say is be transparent with your financial abilities.
Yeah.
Right?
I
get it though.
It.
Yeah, I get it. Like first dates, you're trying to impress the girl. But at some point, you're going to have to be transparent and be honest, right?
Yes.
But how do you do that? I think that's the hardest part, to bridge that, to jump that bridge.
So for me, it was even tougher, right? Because when I met my wife that time, I just started a venture and things were, I looked good, but it was getting quite tight to my wallet already that time. So I was like driving a BMW. I look fine. I can go out and makan, no problem, and stuff like that. I can have a drink, no problem. But you're not saving as much.
Yes, like in your bank, it's just not much.
So imagine when you go dates, you're driving a nice BMW. How on earth are you going to tell this girl that, like, look, I may not be as rich as you think. Right? Yeah. So, yeah. So it was tough. It was tough, right?
Yeah.
And because me and my wife, we
how long you guys together? Like dated?
I dated for 1 month, then I proposed.
Wow!
This is the first time I'm telling you in public. Right?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow, Mrs. Money, very lucky.
I dated for 1 month, then I proposed. In fact, the first date when we went out, it wasn't even a date. Yeah, it was just like, okay, let's go for
friends,
coffee, right? Yeah, and I remember in the car itself, I just decided to say, I don't believe in dating. If I think I meet the right person, I'll just propose and get married.
I love it.
And then I was just thinking to myself, right? She's going to say like, you cheesy, no? Yeah. So I was waiting for that lah. It didn't come.
Oh.
It was like, she seemed quite cool.
Yeah.
And even when I proposed to her, I actually made it a point that I asked everyone in the family first, that can I propose to your daughter, your sister, and all that. if everyone say yes, only I'll propose.
Ah.
Yeah. And all of them say yes.
Within a month also.
Yeah, I was literally asked the father, I said, you know, I only dated her a month, right? Then he's like, yeah, I know. He said, it's okay. I was like, 1 month or? So I double check, No, make sure, I'm like, uncle, you sure?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. But so because it was so quick, and you don't go strip naked about finances.
Oh yeah.
Within the first month, right?
Definitely.
It's going to be very hard.
Yes.
Yeah. So only after a proposal is sets in, then we start talking. But I was very glad because my wife was not someone who like living the high life. She doesn't wear branded everything all. She was self-sufficient.
That's nice.
And she was very supportive. So, but it was still tough because I guess the main thing about being transparent about finance is it's very ego destroying.
Yes.
Especially as a male. Yeah, especially as a guy, it's very ego destroying. I think for my lesson is that when I look at from the girl's end, she also don't know what to respond.
Yeah.
Right? Because like if you tell me you got no money,
what do you want me to say?
What am I going to say, right? Yeah. You want me to encourage you and say, don't worry, I'll take care of you. I'm not going to say that, right? Yeah. You want to say that, like, I'm going to live with you forever, even if you got no money. I need a thing.
Yeah.
Right? I'm not going to give the answer immediately, right?
Yeah.
So you're also putting her in that situation.
It's a tough spot.
And you yourself also is like, you also need to come to that reconciliation with your own ego. So I think in the early days when we first started having that conversation, it was tough.
Yeah.
But I think it's about how fast can you be honest.
Yeah.
Because the process of going and become honest is the toughest. Like, it will not appear as, hey, how much money are you earning this month? It won't, right? It will be likely tomorrow you want to spend, and then like, hey, don't go lah. Then the girl find it a bit weird. Why don't I go? You already promised me you want to go. And then as you trace, then you have to tell the truth. Actually, I can't afford. Right? So, and that's when those argument kicks in and you feel even worse about yourself. So, I mean, it's easy to say, hard to do, but I would say that if you are in that situation, just be open and say, look, I really got no money. But don't just stop there lah. You give a plan, right?
Yeah.
Give a plan. Say, what am I going to do to improve my situation?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I think it's hard, right? These days, living standards has really increased. Like, everything's so expensive. And sometimes the salary you have is just really just enough.
Yeah.
It's totally understandable.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then people talk about, financial freedom. What is financial freedom? All these YouTube ads sometimes I see. Do you want to achieve financial freedom? Let me give you 3 steps. And I just skip it. I'm like, no.
Stop buying stock.
Don't pause this video just yet.
I shouldn't make fun of them.
Sorry. Sorry, but not sorry. Okay, yeah.
Okay. When we talk about financial freedom, actually, what people are trying to say is that you can just sit there, don't do anything, money would come in, and it's enough to pay for expenses.
Passive income.
Yeah, that's what they're trying to talk about, right?
Oh.
But I think that it's more important, instead of following other people's definition, is follow yours. Because let me ask you a very simple question. If you really sit down there and do nothing every day, what kind of life is that, man?
Yeah.
You might as well become a mushroom or something like that. Yeah. So I think the truth is also we are not in a state in Malaysia, and some of us may never achieve that in our life. That's the truth.
That's true.
Some of us may never.
Yeah.
Because if you're earning about only 2,000 or less every month, and if you don't have that kind of skill set, and by the time you reach retirement, you're going to earn like 4,000 or 5,000 only.
Yeah.
Forget about passive income. It may
Impossible.
not happen.
Yeah.
It may likely not happen. So then you got to redefine for yourself what makes you happy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's more important.
Yeah. Like, what is financial freedom for you?
What is financial freedom?
It could be as simple as being able to afford your meal every time.
Yes. Yeah.
That's financial freedom.
It could be as simple as you saying that as long as I do certain hours of part-time, then I can afford to settle with this kind of lifestyle.
Yes. That's freedom.
Freedom.
Too. Oh,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that.
So instead of thinking about like, I mean, in a way, that's how we started being entrepreneurs as well, right?
Yes, that's
like,
true.
Like you kind of come to the settle and say that, look, I'm really unhappy with my workspace or whatnot. I think doing this, even if it pays me less and taking enormous risks, but I know if I keep my lifestyle here, I'm at least much more happier.
Yeah.
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 And I think that once you can come down to that, then it doesn't really matter whether is it freedom or not, lah, in a way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So all these are like just marketings and I don't know what's the word
to get
for
you
it.
pay more for courses.
For courses, right? All the courses. They earn, no wonder they get financial freedom. No. Skip it. Okay. I think I have quite a bit of question. Do we have time? Yes. Like I said just now, like sometimes minimum wage is really minimum wage.
Yes.
How can you still save when you're earning just enough?
Okay.
What are the steps they can take?
I think this one is it's really a habit thing already. Yeah. So if let's say you're a fresh grad, you can survive with 300 ringgit and somehow, right?
Yeah,
when you're
that's
fresh
true.
grad.
That's true.
Like whatever your mother give you, you just survive with it.
That's true.
Right. But suddenly when you work, right, you can't survive with 2,000 ringgit. So what changed there? Honestly, nothing much changed there except your spending habit. Now, I'm not saying that like, oh, how can you expect me not to have a lunch with my colleagues? Yeah, you should. In fact, I sometimes I tell people this, right? When you're in your early days, having lunch with your colleague and networking with your colleague is very important.
Yeah.
It's very, very important. Don't think that you just want to save money, that you don't go and eat lunch with your colleague. Yeah, you rather just sit there, have a drink and give funny excuses of not having lunch, right? Yeah, but you need that kind of network. It's more important than you saving that extra 10 ringgit aside, right? Now, on the other hand, I think the best philosophy at the end of the day, there's multiple patterns, but all of them come down to this one thing, which is you save before you spend. So every month when the money comes in, you just set aside first. Because if you actually look at psychology, right?
Yes.
Humans actually will adapt to resources given. For example, even we don't talk about money. If you tell people, right, you have 3 days to complete this work, it will take them 3 days to finish. You tell them 1 month, it will take 1 month. No matter how big or small a task.
That's true.
Because we will expand according to what's resources given.
Yes.
They're given them 1 day, they will do it within 1 day unless it's impossible. Yeah. So once you set that frame,
Yes.
then you live within that frame.
Yes.
Yeah. Even until today, I practice that right now. Yeah. And it's harder as you move up your life stages because you have more things to pay.
Yeah.
Because by then you need to cut down.
Yeah.
But so the best is start when you're young. But if not, then be very honest about it and just cut down whatever that's necessary. Like for me, I just sold my BMW.
Oh.
Yeah, so I now drive a beat up old car. My car is only worth less than Vira. Yeah, because the market value is just really bad, right? Anyway, I don't even drive a nice car. Yeah, so because that time I know that if I were to continue driving it, I can't save as much.
Yeah,
And I need to
maintenance is
save
also
by
a lot.
starting a business.
Yeah.
Maintenance is
It's insane.
another amount. So I sold. I don't even move out of my house. I just tell my mom and I say, no, look, even I'm married, I gotta be home.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so I have properties, but I rent it out to people.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it gives me an income.
Yeah.
Then I move in with my mom. No shame with that.
Yeah, absolutely not.
It's just live wherever you can. I mean, today I can afford, but I'm happy.
I agree.
I'm happy. Like,
Just because you can afford doesn't mean you need to spend it, what?
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, because it's a problem. And number two, okay, this is also because I'm a business owner.
Yeah.
So there's always that question.
Yeah.
If 1 whole year I'm not going to do well, or 2 years I'm not going to do well.
You need that
Yeah.
money for rainy days.
Correct. Yeah.
Yes.
Because it's not just paying for my own salary. I need to pay for my staff salary.
Correct.
I can't say that like the last thing you want to do is fire your staff, you know?
Yes.
Yeah. So
I agree completely. Like, especially during the pandemic, the first lockdown, 2 weeks became 4, 5 months, zero freaking income.
Yeah.
That was the scariest time of my life.
yeah.
My savings was just dipping and dipping and dipping. It was the scariest thing because I didn't know when things are going to open up again and jobs are going to come rolling in. So having money for rainy days is very, very important.
Yeah, that's right.
I learned from my advisor as well. You need like an X amount. If 3 times your monthly expenses?
3 to 6 months.
Yeah, 3 to 6 months amount in your bank is a safe number.
Yes.
If you don't have that, can get into trouble when you need money, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So guys, 3 to 6 months, huh? Okay. Okay, since we're still talking about money, when is the right time or is there a right amount you have in your bank to start investing?
I think none.
No, can be any amount.
Can be any amount. Yeah, I mean, definitely there are certain investment that you're required to have at least like 1,000 or 2,000 or 3,000 now, right? But I would always say that investing sometimes is less of the amount, but more of the mindset. Why do I say that? Is because I've seen people who tell me like, I got no money to invest. So they save up 100 over 1,000. They still don't invest it.
Hey, well.
Yeah. Because very simple. If you dare not even take out 1,000 ringgit or 500 ringgit to invest, do you think you dare to click the button and say invest when it's 500,000? So it's a
Mindset.
It's a mindset thing, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I would say that invest as early, but when you're investing early, don't expect to be rich from investing. I think the biggest problem for a lot of people is this.
I will be rich.
Yes, they think that I invest that 2,000, they're going to be rich. And that's where they fall for scam.
Yes.
So the truth is, investment, unless you're rich, investment is something that make the rich richer.
Yes.
Or either people who are already doing quite well to become even better.
Yes.
But if you're already not doing well, I'm so sorry. Investment won't help you. Cause yeah, and the truth is you'll probably see a lot of gurus, right?
Yes,
they'll tell
a
you
lot.
they'll tell you like, invest, it's okay, you're not doing well, it's okay, you invest and after you're gonna do well.
Yeah.
Let me tell you one thing, how they did well is they sell you that course.
Yes. Not because of
Because
their
when
investment.
they know money, the time they created that course and they sold you that course and then they take that money, they go and invest and then they got more money.
Yes.
Yeah. So it is not that they had the 1,000 ringgit they invest and then they became a hero, okay?
Yes.
Yeah, it is. They sold you the course.
Yes.
No. So at the end of the day, you still need to find a way of making money. That is the number one thing. One thing.
Yeah. You make money and save it so that you have enough to invest.
Yes.
Is that one way to do it?
So before you even talk about investment, you also need some. So there's this 7-step thing that Dave Ramsey used, which I kind of modify a little bit to Malaysian style, right? It's the first thing is that if once you first started, you need to make sure that you have at least 1,000 ringgit in your bank account.
Fair.
Why? Because if tomorrow your car tire puncture,
you need some sort of cash.
you need some sort of cash, right?
Yeah.
Then number 2 is you need to clear off your bad credit card debts.
Debts.
Right. So whatever credit card debts that comes in place, right? Simply because the interest rate is super high.
Yeah.
Right. So you just clear it off. Right. And why you have the 1,000 earlier is because so that if your tire puncture, you don't end up swiping your card again. Right. That's why you need that 1,000. Now, once you finish clearing a debt, your third step only is saving up 3 to 6 months for rainy days. Yeah. Once you save up the 3 to 6 months, trust me, you will immediately feel that freedom. Yeah.
That comfort.
Yeah. To know that like, okay, I'm not going to die very anytime. It's really a relief to know that you have that kind of money. Now, if you have never experienced that, because you've been putting your money everywhere else, try experiencing that once. Then you'll understand what it means. You will want that security, right?
Yes.
Then only the next step is think about investing.
So if you don't have the first 3 steps, don't even bother. Would you say that?
Yeah, try not to bother.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you have just 3 months, don't bother yet. Just learn.
Learn.
So I would tell people this one thing, right? Because you don't suddenly fall on a lap with a lot of money.
Yeah.
So every month, maybe you start saving 500 ringgit.
Yeah.
So what you can do is just portion this 500 ringgit.
Yeah.
Maybe if you really, really want to start investing early, then you just set aside 100 to invest, set aside the remaining 400 to faster build up that emergency saving first. And then by the time you build up that, then remaining money is all in investment already. Tak perlu takut lagi. Because you know you got something back up already.
Yes. Right. So that's your 7th step.
Oh yeah, haven't finished. Sorry.
The 4th step already.
Fourth step, okay. Yeah. So after the 4th step, emergency saving already. Then the next step is wait,
already 4th, investing.
Oh, investing.
Already.
Okay. So after invest, then so this investment is for longer term.
Yes.
You must remember it's for longer term.
Yeah.
The first investment you look
Yeah.
at. Now, then the next one only you're talking about shorter term stuff like do I want to buy a house? Do I want to
Buy house quite long term, what?
yeah, but they consider short term. Now why? You see, that's the problem, because that's the US version. You see, US version, very simple one. You buy a car 5,000 ringgit, that's a luxury. Malaysian 5,000 ringgit, you find a car for me.
Impossible, brother. Not even kancil.
So that's why it's a little bit of a mismatch.
Right. So you tweak it.
Yeah.
Got it.
So by the 5th one, you're supposed to think about this. Then the final one is pay off your children's college fee or something like that. That's for Dave
The
Ramsey
parent,
style.
yeah.
But I would say that the fifth one for yourself, the sixth one for yourself is whatever you like. in my personal opinion, or it could be that buy a dream, whatever that you want, right? Yeah, because Malaysian a bit different in that sense. Basically, the last two steps is more towards aspirational kind of things. So one is basic aspirational, which means like a home, car, right? Yeah. The next one is aspirational. And then the final one is even more aspirational. They call it giving back to society and whatnot.
Like donation.
Yeah, like donation, or like you want to set up a charity fund, anything.
If you could just summarize 7 steps to do what? Like finance.
To reach, they call it 7 steps to reach financial stability or either financial freedom.
Okay.
Yeah, so for Dave Ramsey, it's called the 7 baby steps. Yeah, it comes in many different forms and versions from different authors, but generally, bale is the same thing. Now, in my opinion, once you complete the first 4 steps, you're pretty much financially stable.
Yeah.
Yeah, so don't think about the rest.
We're not talking about being billionaire lah, obviously.
Yeah.
Just be stable.
Yeah, I think the biggest aspiration for me lah, I'm not sure. I think one of the biggest thing that Malaysians just need is financial confidence.
Confidence.
Yeah. Why do I use that word is because it is not about whether do I have the money to live forever with my saving, but I know that in order to live the life that I want, I know how to get there. That's financial confidence. Yeah. So just having that mere confidence to know that it is in my hand, that if I want to achieve that, I know what to do in A, B, C, D, E to get there. And I think that's good enough for Malaysians. Yeah, you don't need to talk about like sit down there because that's not possible in Malaysia scenario lah. Let's put it this way. Yeah.
Unless you got a lot of old money.
Correct.
Different story.
Yeah, that's a different thing.
All right. Oh my gosh. I think we have unpacked quite a bit. And that was quite an episode, really. I'm still very bugged by my CP500, so I'm going to go back and settle that. But right now, Peter, I have 3 questions for you. Usually how I'm going to start wrapping up the episode. Okay? You can answer it in short sentences or a couple of words, up to you. Okay? So the first question is, what are you currently head over heels for?
Ooh, currently.
Can be your car, can be your kids, I don't know, anything.
I think it's still Mr. Money TV. Because we are at this point, we are expanding.
Yes.
Yeah, so I think 90% of my time and energy is focused on how do we expand. Because in Mr. Money TV, we have a very peculiar business model as well.
Yep.
We don't want to do expensive financial literacy classes. And whatever we do in terms of financial literacy side, we want to get banks to pay for it.
Yeah.
Or either financial institution to pay for it. So it's not typical like I just come out and say, hey, 8,000 ringgit for this class, right?
Yeah.
That's fast money, easy and good and make a lot.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm head over heels for, to think about how do I create enough reward and that reward can be distributed equally even among the whole team.
Yes.
Yeah.
Love it. Second question, the most unforgettable advice you've ever received, can be good or bad advice.
I'm very privileged to have many good advisors, but I think this one is one lately that came across that I always like I've been telling people is that this is called test of an educated man.
Okay.
Yeah. Which is, if I tell you something, do not reject it, do not accept it, analyze it, think about it. If it improves your quality of life, then take action about it. But if it doesn't, just ignore it. So that's the test of an educated man.
Can I just request for you to say that again? That is very fitting to what I'm currently going through. But yeah, do you mind repeating that one more time?
So the test of an educated man is when whatever I say, do not reject it.
Don't reject.
Do not accept it.
Don't accept it.
But listen to it, study it, analyze it. And if it improves your quality of life, then take action about it.
Yes.
But if it doesn't, ignore it.
Ignore it. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Wow. That's a really good one, actually. So I hope you guys took notes. I made him repeat 3 times. And one last question before we wrap this up. 3 to 5 words to describe your life right now.
Ooh.
It can be like single words, happy, sad, or in a short sentence.
Short sentence. I think I'm content, but striving at the same time. Yeah.
I love that. And I think with that, we wrap up the episode. Peter, thank you so much for being here. It was so fun. You know, it's our first time meeting in person. I don't think it's going to be our last, but yeah, really enjoyed our chat together.
Thank you very much for having me here. It's a privilege to be here.
Thank you.
Finally get to meet the Maggy Wang.
I don't like this. Finally get to meet the face behind Mr. Money TV. But you guys, please go check out his channel. Really, really, I think it's going to change your life because when I first found out about him and his team of the work that they do, I think I've been a huge fan. So do follow them on Instagram as well. They're also on Instagram. It's also Mr. Money TV.
Mr. Money TV.
Mr. Money TV. And yeah, all things finances and a ton of content really. Very fun ones and very educational ones as well. So yeah, is there anything you want to share with our listeners before we go?
In terms of advice or anything like that? Or, yeah.
One last word.
Just be smart with money lah.
And go follow Mr. Money TV. And with that, don't forget to fall head over heels for yourself first and always make good financial decisions, my friends. See you next time. Bye-bye. And pay your tax.